everybody. You are looking live. It's sold out at Life Stadium where today the 16-0 and playoff-bound New York Giants are taking on the 0-16 Philadelphia Eagles. And why are the Philadelphia Eagles 0-16? Because they suck. They started the season 10-1. And they got smoked in the first round of the playoffs. Damn Buccaneers, because they suck. The Philadelphia Eagles suck. Well, it never gets old. Welcome to the Gridiron. Anybody out there at all, just spend a little bit of time with me here this evening. I greatly appreciate it. If anybody's going to spend any time watching a replay this, once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. Going to try to go about 30 minutes here tonight, shoot my mouth off for about 30 minutes. Anybody got anything to say, please feel free, fire away, throw in the chat box. You should try to check on the chat box like every 5 or 10 minutes or so. So as soon as I see something in there, I try to respond to it as fast as I can. So please feel free and fire away. But also, instead of me just rambling on for half an hour, 45 minutes, or whatever it might wind up being, it's just nice to talk to another Giant fan. So please feel free once again. Fire away. Before I get started, if anybody wants to help support my channel out, it would mean the absolute world to me. The link in the description box. Very top link takes you to my membership page. I got 3 different membership levels. The first one's called the Saquon. The second one's called the Lawrence Taylor. And the third one I got is called the Gridiron. Each one's got their own little perks to them. So if you want to help support my channel out, it would mean so much to me. And I thank you in advance. Thank you. And if you are subscribed to my channel, once again, thank you. I can use all the support I can get, guys. But if not, please go down below, hit the subscribe button, hit that bell icon. That way, next time I go live or if I put a video out, you'll be notified. And it's free of charge. What do you got to lose? Right? But if you are subscribed to my channel, thank you. And if you can maybe give this video a thumbs up or maybe share the video, that'd be freaking awesome. And finally, just a little ways down in the description box, there's 2 additional links. The top one's a Facebook link, which I'll go over in just a second. The one underneath it, I'm an old-time fart. I hate change. Get off my lawn! I'm one of them old-time farts, right? I can't stand change, right? So the link underneath it, it's a Twitter link. It's always been Twitter. It'll be Twitter today. It's Twitter tomorrow. It'll be Twitter 3 trillion years from now when I'm long gone. Whatever letter of the alphabet Elon Musk wants to call it, that's on you, bro. I'm not calling it that. It's Twitter. You follow me on Twitter, I'll follow you back. That's an absolute promise. I try to put Giants-related stuff in my Twitter account every day. And then finally, also, the link on top of it takes you to my Facebook group. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. We have over 7,900 members, but just a little shy of 8,000 members in the group. Basically, if I'm alive and breathing, and if I have internet access, I'm putting stuff in this group darn near 365. And not only do I put stuff in this group, but members post stuff in this group as well. So between me and the members, there's a ton. There's a boatload. There's an awful lot, you might say, of New York Giants information going in this group every day. It's called the New York Giants, the Gridiron. It's my Facebook group. Please join it. You won't be dissatisfied. I promise. Oh, hold on. Oh, time out. Time out on if I got to move the chair for my buddy Rainey here. Rainey's in the house. All right, buddy. Watch you. All right, pal. All right, Rainey's here. Okay. We can continue. Hey, just a quick shout out here also. I mean, I can't stand the Eagles. Respectful hate. Well, not hate, despise. Not despise. That's still a little weak. That's kind of weak. I don't know what is more potent than despise. You know what I mean? Despise is like on a scale of 1 to 10 is like about a 5. I'm like a 13. So whatever a 13 is, I'm not sure. I'm not. I'm in the Philadelphia area, so I'm not that intelligent. All right. So whatever whatever that might be, whatever word that might be, but quick shout out to Jason Kelce. I mean, if you listen to the wind, right? If you turn your head toward Ohio and you listen from the Canton area, you can hear they're carving out his bust in Canton right now as we speak, right? He's a Hall of Famer. Now, I don't know if he's going to be first ballot Hall of Famer or nothing like that, but he's going in the Hall of Fame. Great guy, I mean, but if the fans around here absolutely love him, I mean, if he's on your team, you freaking love the guy. Plain and simple. I mean, the Eagle fans around here absolutely freaking love Kelce. I mean, he's he's a especially if he's on your team, he's the kind of teammate you want on your team. I mean, he's been a heck of a player for what I think 13 seasons. A late pick, I don't know what round, 5th round or so pick. He's going to be going to the Hall of Fame. Anchored that offensive line for so many years, and heck of a freaking ball player. Now, finally, maybe we might be able to, Sexy's been getting some push up the middle, but now hopefully we can hopefully cave the whole center of the Philadelphia Eagles offensive line in next season. But I just want to give a quick shout out to Kelsey, going into the Hall of Fame whenever, but even though he's in a Philadelphia Eagle, he's from the NFC East too. So I said, just a heck of a football player, outstanding football player. So all right, well we got some juicy stuff going on here. Now, once again, also this is I saw from Lawrence Tynes too. Because he always chimes in, puts his 2 cents in, because he obviously is, he's got the man, Lawrence Tynes, bleeds Giants blue through and through. So, and we're so lucky that we traded for him and all that. I mean, he kept that 2007 NFC Championship game. He kept it, missing the field goals there. He kind of kept you on your edge there, but he pulled us through in overtime. So, and he kicked us in, into the championship game, 2 times, right? So you gotta love Lawrence. But I mean, Lawrence came out and said, I think maybe it was on his Twitter, I guess. Said it's also, and rightfully so. It's kind of like smoke screen season, right? You're putting out smoke screens, because people are asking, hey, what's going on there? What are you thinking about this ball player? You thinking about trading back? You want to move up? You're staying still? You're staying still? What are you looking cornerback? What are you running? What are you going deep wide receiver? What's going on? How you guys? How do you feel about the cornerback, Mike? I mean, so it's all, a lot of it's smoke screens because, you start doing too much of this, or shall I say, you do too much of this with truthful words, how you really feel and all that. And of course, everything starts spreading like wildfire. And the last thing you want to do is have a lot of teams out there, in your business, all up in your business, right? Knowing what's going on. So I mean, some of the stuff that comes out might be truthful. Some of it might be, once again, as Lawrence Tynes says, smoke screens, especially when it comes to, the draft. I mean, the last thing you want to do, like with Dave Gettleman, didn't seem like he was very good at keeping secrets and all that and everything. Seemed like every year we got, we were just, I don't know. Seemed like the cat was out of the bag with him every time we were going to draft. It's like everybody in the NFL and even everybody, I think, in China knew what the Giants were going to draft when Dave Gettleman was the GM. So, you want to try to keep things kind of close to the vest. Now, I don't know. I mean, like one of my stories is, Rich Eisen, talking about the Giants are done with Daniel Jones. Now, whoever his sources are, I mean, the dude's been around for a long time. I'm sure he has a lot of sources. There's a lot of people that like talking and all that. So, so who knows? But you also got to keep in mind too, it is like smoke screen season too. I mean, the object is, when pick 6 rolls around, some of the teams are kind of like, I don't know, they might stay put. Well, they were thinking about maybe a Dunze, but I don't know. They were saying neighbors too, so I don't know what's going on. I mean, that's the ideal situation for the Giants. You don't want everybody and their grandma knowing exactly who they're going to take. So you got to take all this stuff a little bit of a grain of salt. But it was, let's see here. Draft. Well, the one thing is that Giants spoke, and the Raiders did too. Now, I mean, with the Raiders, my goodness. Well, hold on. Let me see. The Raiders 12 or 13? Let me see here. Let's do this here. 2024 NFL draft order. Where are the Raiders? The 12, 13, because I know the Falcons are 8, right? Falcons are 8, yeah, because they're one of the quarterback needy teams. And you got the Vikings 11, The Broncos 12, the Raiders are 13. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, the problem is with the, I mean, the thing is, well, I mean, unless Kirk Cousins resigns with the Vikings, you know, if Kirk Cousins winds up signing with the Vikings, then they don't need a quarterback. They got their guy. I'm not exactly sure how they feel about him and all that stuff and everything, but yeah. Now, of course, the big, huge news out is, you know, Russell Wilson is on the loose. He's free. He's a free man. He's out of Denver. Now, I'm not sure who's happier, him or Sean Payton, but we'll have to wait and see. But I really think Sean Payton, he needs to be successful. I mean, he's got a good mind and all that. Don't get me wrong. But, let's not forget who he had as quarterback all those years in Nolans, right? He needs a good quarterback, right? And if he doesn't get himself a good quarterback, I don't think he's the kind of coach or something like that can just, he's not like a Mike Tomlin or something like that, right? I mean, Mike Tomlin can have me on the team and we'll still have a winning record. That's how good Mike Tomlin is. Sean Payton, he needs a quarterback. So, with that being said, if they let Wilson go, that's the thing. It's like with McCarthy. I mean, he ain't making it out of the first round. How far is he going to fall back? I mean, is it too soon? I mean, I'm just saying. I mean, we're going to go over this article here, but Giants, according to this article anyway, Giants were talking about maybe trading up for a quarterback. So were the Raiders, right? I said, I mean, what it might cost the Raiders? Holy cow! But the thing is, McCarthy's kind of like on it going. His stock is going up, right? Now, is it going up to number 6? Ooh, the Giants can't jump back. I highly doubt it. Highly doubt it. They can't. Well, we'll wait to the second round. Or we'll wait till toward the end of the first round. We'll get a couple of second round picks. We'll try to jump back in the first round. We'll scoop up McCarthy. I don't know if he's going to go that far. I don't know if he's going to make it out of the 20s. Well, I don't know if he's going to make it much past 20 or so. Especially I say you got those quarterback needy teams. I say you don't know what's going on with Kirk Cousins. Now, obviously, in a week or so from now, Kirk Cousins could be back with the Vikings. Kirk Cousins, hey, who knows? He could be with the Broncos. He could be with the Raiders. He could go with the Falcons. I mean, who knows? I don't know. But there are some quarterback needy teams. And I said, let's not forget about the Steelers too. I'm sure they can use maybe use a little bit better version of a quarterback, right? But going into this, I don't know what on earth the Raiders would have to give up. I mean, to get a quarterback. I mean, to just try to jump up to maybe number 3 or something like that. Whew. And the thing is it's like probably, just what I'm hearing, probably things change, but is that the Raiders? I mean, because I don't think you could possibly trade enough stuff to the Commanders to get them to go out at 2, right? So you kind of figure that maybe, we think the Bears may be taking Caleb Williams. The Commanders are definitely taking somebody. So the thing is for the Raiders to go from, what the hell did I say, 13 to 3 and get the third. I mean, that's something also they would want to do that too. I mean, they would want to do that. It'd have to be a draft night kind of thing. That have to fall in love with whatever, say Daniels, right? And they call up the Patriots and, can we work something out? Can we give you this and this and this? Would that be okay? Or, and they say, yeah. Okay, well, and then they say, if our guy is there, we're going to give you a call. Because they're not going to do it, obviously, beforehand. Because if they don't like May and they only want Daniels or vice versa, if they don't like Daniels and they only like May, if he ain't there at 3, they're not calling. But, that's a lot of picks, a lot of heavy picks they're going to have to give up to get up that far. So let's see what I know it shows it in this article there. This is a Bleacher Report. The rumors: Raiders and the Giants spoke to teams about trading up for a quarterback. The Raiders and the Giants are reportedly exploring a trade up for a quarterback in the 2024 NFL Draft. Albert Breer of Sports Illustrated reported the teams were asking around throughout the NFL Combine week. The Raiders have been regularly picked on the teams most likely to trade up if a top 3 pick becomes available. Raiders coach Antonio Pierce had a direct hand in recruiting Jayden Daniels and had a strong relationship with the quarterback while they were both at Arizona State. So I wouldn't be shocked at all if Daniels wouldn't be over the moon to go back and play for Antonio Pierce, because I think if you like playing for the guy, you like being around Antonio Pierce or something like that, I'm sure you got to love him. Right? I mean, he's just that kind of a football kind of guy now. How successful he's going to be as a coach, who knows? But his heart's in the right place. I certainly believe that. I mean, you see the way the guy prepares for a football game and everything. Yeah, the guy loves his football. But Daniel transferred for his final 2 collegiate seasons and found superstardom at LSU. The Giants have a mess of their own creation at quarterback after lavishing Daniel Jones with a 4-year, $160 million contract last offseason. Jones is set to count $47.1 million on the Giants cap in 2024. And the team will almost certainly eat that number in order to avoid pushing any more dead cap into the future. Absolutely. I mean, I can't possibly see them wanting to restructure his contract and let's kick some more money down the road. I can't see that. Whether it's ultimately feasible for either the Giants or the Raiders to move up is another question entirely. Well, it's feasible for the Giants. It's very feasible. Recent history, right? Be 3 second-round picks to move up 3 spots. So, but the Raiders would have to mortgage at least its 2025 and 2026 first-round picks to move up from number 13 into the top 3, and that's likely just the starting point. Because the thing is that because you're looking at it like it's like, oh, cool, we got their first-round picks. And the first-round pick's a first-round pick. Whether it, obviously you want the first-round pick to be number 1. But, if it's pick number 30 or 31, 32, it's still in the first round. You got 5 years, right? But, the big thing is you don't know exactly where they're going to be picking. Right now the Raiders are picking 13. So you're thinking, okay, cool. We got their next 3 first-round picks, and they're throwing in a third, a fourth, and a fifth as well, too, or something like that. Whatever, right? I'm just throwing numbers out there. But so you're like, okay, so we got pick 13 this year. 2025, we got pick 13. 2026, we got pick 13. Okay, that's not too bad. Okay, all right. Then we got the 3rd round, a 4th round, a 5th round. Okay, all right. No, you don't know. The Raiders could bomb next season, and you could wind up with pick 1, and you well, baby, right? But the Raiders could do not too bad, and they could say maybe have a one, say to whatever. 10-7, whatever, 9-8, and they're picking 20. So instead of you don't got pick 13, now you got pick 20 next year. Well, say Antonio Pierce is the bomb, right? Say they continue their winning ways and they want to pick a number 20, 21, or 22, or whatever the following year. So now we traded away pick number 3, right? We could have at least had Marvin Harrison Jr. or this or that or something. We want to pick 13, pick 20, pick 23. It's like, still 3 good prime picks. Obviously it's all, I don't want to say gamble, but there's almost no guaranteed, anybody's going to be a stone cold, absolute guaranteed lock of a winner anywhere you pick, but the thing is, you don't know where you're going to be picking at. And I said, the Raiders, they give up 3 first-round picks just to move up and hopefully, and to grab a quarterback you hope is going to work out. There ain't no guarantee they're working out. There's no guarantee. The Giants could have the NFL's worst skill position group next season if running back Saquon Barkley leaves in free agency. It's hard to envision any quarterback thriving in that environment. Oh yeah. Holy cow. Really think about it. As I said, the thing is the Giants can get out of their from Jones's contract next offseason, but we'll have to pay $22.1 million in dead cap, Chase. That's something that, they, they're more than, I think, willing to bite the bullet on that. But I don't think as far as like trying to restructure, I mean, if they're going to restructure anybody's contract, it could be Bobby Okereke, Andrew Thomas, Sexy Dexy, the guys are going to be around here for the most part. I mean, let's knock on wood. I mean, I don't want nobody getting injured on any team ever. You know what I mean? I'm saying unless something really happens, a bad injury or something like that or whatever. But I mean, for the most part, I mean, you can see Okereke, Sexy Dexy, and Andrew Thomas. You want those guys being here for years. You know what I mean? For the next few years, obviously. So you can see those contracts getting restructured. So, I mean, I don't think they want to be touching Daniel Jones's contract, especially if you start looking at it and you consider that when Shane wrote up the contract, there was basically you look at it as like 460, what? So much, such and such, a guarantee, what? I mean, basically it's an out after 2 seasons. Now there's $20-something million in dead cap money. I get that. But there's an out after 2 seasons. Kind of maybe shows you what they really, maybe way down deep inside, what they really maybe kind of think about Daniel Jones, right? So, or worse comes to worse, right? If he works out, if he starts balling out and doing fantastic, right? They got him for this season and the next 2 seasons, right? But I mean, rumors are running rampant that obviously the Giants are looking for a quarterback. So. Then the Giants were prepared anyway to pursue Mike Evans in free agency. Now, Mike Evans, I mean, man, my goodness, talking about just straight up freaking unbelievably consistent. Holy freaking crap, Batman. I mean, there was 10 seasons in a row. I mean, 1,000 yards, 10 seasons. Let me make sure, Mike Evans. All right, let's go to Pro Football Reference. Is it going to pop up his stats here? There we go. Pro Football Reference. I think it's 10 seasons in a row. 10 straight 1,000-yard seasons. I mean, every freaking season he's been in the league. I mean, talking about consistent. I mean, let's see. He's missed 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. He's missed 8 games in 10 seasons. Freaking absolutely model of consistency. Absolutely amazing. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 10 straight seasons of over 1,000 yards receiving. Let's see. 2017, excuse me. Excuse me. He just made it. In 2017, he had 1,001 receiving yards. He just made it. But I mean, talking about it once again, 10 straight seasons of 1,000 yards receiving. Absolutely unbelievable. Absolutely. I mean, and they really have not been like, unbelievable juggernaut, they had Brady for a couple of seasons, don't get me wrong. Okay, but, they were not that phenomenal for all those years. But I mean, just 10 straight seasons. I mean, I'm almost kind of wondering how many quarterbacks he had thrown him the ball to him. But the Giants apparently were going after him until, and I can't blame the Bucs. Absolutely not. Can't blame at all. One of the New York Giants' top free agents, future Hall of Famer wide receiver Mike Evans, has been taken off the market. Evans has reached a deal with his current employer. Can't blame him. The Tampa Bay Bucs on a 2-year extension worth a reported $52 million with $35 million guaranteed. So the Giants were one of a half a dozen potential suitors seeking to pry Evans away from Tampa, where he's played his entire 10-year NFL career. Multiple, according to Diana Rossini, I guess maybe. Multiple teams had Mike Evans on their free agent wide receiver board and were hoping to land him in free agency based on several team sources. Apparently the Titans, the Rams, the Chiefs, the Patriots, the Giants, the Panthers, the Falcons, and the Jaguars. Wow. Could you imagine if the Chiefs got him? Wow. Whew. Evans scored 79 of his 136 targets, 58% of his passes last season for 1,255 yards and 13 touchdowns. He has registered 1,000 or more receiving yards in each of his 10 seasons with the Bucs, which is an NFL record. Holy cow. I mean, as I said, just the absolute model of consistency. I said, not only that, right? But I mean, he missed 8 games. I mean, the most he missed in the season was 3 games. I mean, and just consistent. I mean, worth every penny they pay him. And the one thing is that, you know, Shane was kind of like, you know, I don't know if he was, because he was referring last season, is that he was kind of maybe, I don't know, maybe kicking himself maybe a little bit. I guess maybe for trading away the 3rd round pick to get Waller, maybe, because, you know, you trade the 3rd to get Waller, and you have to pay the guy as well too. I think because he wants to compete while he's building, right? And you can't compete and build, you know, kind of tough when you're trading away your low draft picks to get in older players. See, like with, at least with Mike Evans, right? It's going to cost you, and you can compete with Mike Evans as a target, a Daniel Jones or whoever we have a quarterback could be throwing to, right? But, you know, that's the kind of, because you got some free agency money, so you can spend, get the Evans to come in even for 2 years if it is, maybe 3, right? Probably at the most. But you're keeping your draft picks, and that way you can compete with the Evans, right? You bring in a nice stud receiver. He would be now your number 1 for at least a couple of seasons. While maybe with your draft picks, you know, somewhere along the line you can draft a stud wide receiver, but you know, at least with Evans, you know, you would be obviously getting him in free agency, but you'd be keeping your draft picks so you could, you know, build for the future. I think what he may be kind of referring to, Shane was talking about maybe, you know, being maybe a little upset about trading away his 3rd round pick to get Waller, especially the way it wound up working out when he wound up missing all those games, and he still might even wind up retiring, you know. But I mean, because you're trading away your pick, you know, a 3rd round pick could get you a nice ball player. I mean, the Giants got a lot of holes, and even if he's a 3rd round pick, if you got to hit on these picks too, just because he's a 3rd round, oh yeah, we'll take anybody a 3rd round. No, it'll be good. No, I mean, you got to hit on him. But I'm saying, even if he's not a stone cold lock of a starter, should be some good depth. Right, should be contribute, especially maybe on special teams or something like that, which is for the Giants is huge. I mean, they need depth. You know, I mean, obviously you want, if you took somebody in the 3rd round, you'd like to have somebody, you know, could maybe start for you. But I mean, if worst comes to worst, special teams contributor, there you go. And you know, maybe somebody can you know, contribute with some snap. I said, like if you grab, like, say maybe a defensive lineman, somebody you could rotate in there. You got A'Shawn Robinson, but A'Shawn maybe needs a little bit of a blow or something like that, or you know, you bring this guy in, or you know, or if Sexy needs a little bit of a blow, you bring this guy in, right? Some type of rotational piece, right? But yeah, it's getting to be that time of the season once again. You know, I can't blame, you know, the Bucs one bit for re-signing Evans. You know, why would you want to lose him, right? Keep him. Even if he's going to be around for like 2-3 more seasons, then he's going to call it a career. You know, yeah, I can't blame them at all for keeping him. All right. Now, what do we got here? We got, what would Saquon Barkley and Xavier McKinney, their projected contracts look like? Very interesting. All right, very, very interesting. All right. For the 2nd straight season, New York Giants, this is from Bleacher Report. For the 2nd straight offseason, the New York Giants head coach Brian Daboll and general manager Joe Schoen are faced with some difficult decisions. Unlike last year, though, the Giants aren't riding the high of an unexpected playoff berth. New York stumbled to a 6-11 record in 2023, and it's fair to say that the roster could use an injection of talent. With $35.3 million in projected cap space, the Giants can and likely will be active in free agency. Now, with the 35.3, I'm not sure, you know, when they wrote this report up, I'm not sure if that includes, you know, the savings that they have from Mark Lewinsky as well, too, because then that could push it about $40 million. So, as I said, if they can restructure a few contracts, they can get probably at least $70, $75 million in cap space. So, let's see. However, before Shane and Dable are pondering new additions, they must decide the futures of their own impending free agents. Because we're also, right? I mean, we're, the clock is ticking. Today is the 4th, and 1 hour would be the 5th, which would be the final day to slap a tag on somebody. So we got some news coming up tomorrow, right? So in 1 hour is tag day, right? Now, below, we'll dive into 3 of the Giants' biggest contributors who are slated to become free agents on March 13th. We'll assess their values to the team and examine how their free agent contracts are likely to look. Recent production, age, player health, projected role, and positional value were all considered here. A full list of the Giants' impending free agents can be found at Spot Track. And we got quite a few of them. So we got Saquon Barkley. Let's see here. Giants in star running back Saquon Barkley, the franchise tag last offseason after failing to secure a long-term extension. While Barkley responded with another injury-impacted season, he missed, 3 games? What did he miss, right? I mean, it wasn't like he missed, 13 games. He missed 3 games, came back for a quarter, missed 4 games, came back for 3 drives, missed 4 games, came back. I mean, I think he missed once 3 games because of his ankle. I mean, he was still New York's most consistent offensive player when healthy. Now, tagging Barkley for a second straight season is reportedly under consideration. According to the Athletic's Dan Dugan, the Giants tagging Barkley is viewed as a realistic possibility by one source. Despite missing 3 games, right, in 2023 and averaging just 3.9 yards per carry, which is rather remarkable behind the offensive line that the Giants had, Barkley still amassed 1,242 scrimmage yards and 10 touchdowns. Once again, absolutely pathetic offense, a porous offensive line. Right? Spot Track projects Barkley market value $9.9 million annually, and while that's a fair price, it may be a tad high. The problem for Barkley is that the 2024 free agent running back class is deep. Yes, it is. If teams are unwilling to pay him roughly $10 million per year, they have the option to pivot to running backs like Derrick Henry, Josh Jacobs, DeAndre Swift, and Tony Pollard. This should keep Barkley's contract from skyrocketing, though he should still land that long-term security. Contract projections: 3 years, $26 million with $14 million guaranteed. Wow. Geez, they're saying not even $9 million a year. Wow. Okay. Well, the thing is, it's like, according to this, they're talking 3 years, $26 million with 14 guaranteed. Well, he should be like, just, why don't you franchise tag me? Because that's $12 million guaranteed. I believe. So why do I want to pay three years with 14 guaranteed? We can just play this one season, get 12 guaranteed, and then see what I can get for the next 2 seasons. I know in the next 2 seasons he's going to get more than $2 million guaranteed. But we'll see. Then we got Xavier McKinney. The man wants to feel appreciated. In other words, basically, it's just what you kind of get the feeling of. It's just like, show me I love the money. Show me the money. Show me the appreciation. I don't care who it's coming from. Because you never, once again, I said this before, it doesn't sound like you ever hear any little tidbit or clips from them. Hey, man, Shane knows what I want. Hey, man, I got drafted here. We're building something here. Kind of growing up here. I love it. I love the fans. I love the organization. I'm telling you what, if they brought me back, I'd be happy. You don't hear that. Well, it's just, hey, let's see some appreciation. Right? So, you never hear nothing about I want to be a Giant or like to go back. I haven't heard that. Maybe he has, but I haven't heard it. It's all like, just show me the money. Yeah. So whoever throws me the most money, that's the one I'm most appreciated by. That's what he's looking for. So Giants defense wasn't good in 2023, according to Bleacher Report. And the unit's struggles likely played a role in a Giants split with defensive coordinator Mike Martindale. Safety Xavier McKinney, however, was one of the team's few reliable defenders. He played every frickin' snap. The 24-year-old finished the year with 116 total tackles while allowing an opposing passer rating of only 69.8. Very impressive. Though primarily used as a deep safety, McKinney has flash and ability to thrive in the box as well, too. Combination of traits, youth, and recent performance makes McKinney a potential building block for the Giants defense. However, he's young, too. He's young. However, McKinney makes a potential is also make him a popular target in free agency as well. Yes, Spot Track projects McKinney to have a market value of $10.4 million annually, and so that's what Spot Track, but that McKinney, I'm sure, is what he's thinking is a lot more than that. Spot Track projects McKinney to have a market value of $10.4 million annually, and that might actually be a little low. A few starting caliber safeties are slated to be available, including Kyle Duggar, Geno Stone, and Cameron Curl. But there isn't exactly a glut at the position. McKinney is one of the top young defensive backs in the NFL, and his best football may still be ahead of him. The contract Jesse Bates III signed with the Atlanta Falcons last season is worth $16 million annually. Should serve as a starting point in his negotiations. So what here they say, contract projections 4 years, $61 million with 24 guaranteed. So basically, it's 4-year deal, basically about $15 million a season, and they're guaranteeing $6 million a year. So then get Tyrod Taylor. Nobody talks about Isaiah Simmons. That's interesting. Teams don't always make the backup quarterback role a priority in the offseason, but the Giants should. Daniel Jones played poorly before suffering a torn ACL last season, and while rookie Tommy DeVito showed flashes, he struggled to maintain consistency. Giants offense appeared to operate at its best with Tyrod Taylor under center, which wasn't a major surprise. The 34-year-old is a seasoned quarterback with a similar dual-threat skill set that of Jones, who can operate Dable's offense efficiently. Taylor led all Giants quarterbacks with a 47.7 QBR in 2023, which is not super spectacular. But Tyrod is projecting a market value of $3.3 million annually, but the $5.5 million he made annually with the Giants is likely a more accurate price point. I think so too. 3.3 sounds a little low. So the contract projection is 2 years, $12 million with $6 million guaranteed, and that sounds very, very fair. And let's not forget, the Giants, without question, are going to need to get another a couple quarterbacks in, because you figure if they got like mini camps, whatever, like in May. Daniel Jones ain't going to be able. He might be able to stay in there, maybe throw passes or something, but I don't think he's going to be able to run around or anything like that. So I think Giants are definitely going to need to maybe sign somebody, right? Well, I don't know, whatever. Minshew Mania, Tyrod Taylor, somebody, somebody like that. But then maybe wind up drafting somebody. So you have chicken cutlet Parmesan DeVito, right? And maybe bring maybe Tyrod back. $6 million for a backup quarterback. Somebody can come in there and lead you. Oh yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Tyrod's worth every penny of it, without question. The problem with Tyrod is that he gets injured a lot. Right? But I said, and if we draft the quarterbacks, I said that way, if you have Daniel Jones on the horizon, you got Tommy Chicken Cutlet Parmesan, right? You got Tyrod Taylor, and then you're drafting a quarterback, you'd be okay then. I'm not, okay for the time being. I'm not sure, how far we're going to wind up going or how far they want to go with Daniel Jones, but at least we'll have enough quarterbacks. The thing is, though, is that you got Daniel Jones, okay? You got to have Tyrod. If you're bringing Tyrod back, you got to have Tyrod on the 53. You can't put him on the practice squad. Somebody's going to take him, probably, right? The thing is, then if you draft a quarterback, you're trying to develop him. So you don't want to draft, let's say, Rattler. Just throwing a name out there, right? You don't want to draft Rattler, say the third round, put him on the practice squad. Somebody's going to take him. It's going to take him. Somebody's going to have him, and they have to put him on their 53 now. They just can't take him and put him on their practice squad. They have to take him and put him on the 53. But you can certainly see another team just taking him. Then the other thing is that so then you have to maybe have Spencer Rattler on. So you'd have Daniel Jones, Tyrod Taylor, and Spencer Rattler on your 53, right? But then what are you going to do with Tommy Chick, Cutler, Parmesan? You have to put him on the practice squad. And since he won some games last season, right? He's got some experience, this, that. He's got the fame and fortune, all that stuff and everything. Somebody might want to pluck him off the practice squad. So it is what it is. But, you definitely know without question the Giants are definitely going to have to go out and got to get themselves at least another 2 quarterbacks for the time being. Yeah. All right. Then we got, what do we got here? Oh. Nope. Finding some impact players in the draft for the New York Giants. This is from Big Blue View. Where do you find impact players they got here? To me, impact players come in 4 flavors: quarterback, wide receiver, pass rusher, and defensive back. I'll include both edge defenders and interior defensive linemen in the pass rushing category. I don't think the Giants will go defensive back early in this draft, because I suspect that they feel they have an impact cornerback in Banks, and at the present time, there's a chance they re-sign safety Xavier McKinney. That's fair. It's difficult to find impact players even when you draft high. Here are the quarterbacks taken in the top 6 since 2018. Baker Mayfield, Sam Darnold, Kyler Murray, Daniel Jones, Joe Burrow, Tua Tagovailoa, Justin Herbert, Trevor Lawrence, and Zach Wilson, Trey Lance, Bryce Young, C.J. Stroud, Anthony Richardson. That group is accounted for 0 Super Bowl rings and 1 Super Bowl appearance. I'd argue that Burrow and Stroud are the only impact players in that group, though the Stroud's assessments is based on a 1-year sample. Most people would say Herbert is clearly such a player, but 4 years in, he has 1 less playoff victory than Daniel Jones. So, got a point there. Let's see how he does with a proven head coach. Lawrence has the feel of an impact player, but so far he seems to be good, but not great. Here are the wide receivers taken in the top 6 since 2018. Jamar Chase, Jaylen Waddle. That's it. Surprising? No. Chase is certainly an impact player. Waddle, to me, is a tier below. There have been plenty of impact receivers drafted in recent years, but most of them have come outside of the top 10. Or even some of them out of after day 1, like Puka Nacua, right? That could be good news for the Giants. Oh, yeah, without question. In the second round, there's definitely wide receivers the Giants can get. Absolutely. Impact receivers, absolutely. They're not going to be a Neighbors, Dunze, or Marvin Harrison Jr. They'll be a little step below, but you're going to get some impact players without question. If they decide to wait till round 2 to grab a wide receiver, absolutely. The thing is that will they be the dog that the Giants are looking for? That's the question. If you take, I think they really have to. I don't think Marvin Harrison Jr. is getting past the Cardinals at 4. But I mean, if they get either Marvin Harrison Jr., Dunze, or Neighbors, they got themselves the dog, right? And then you got Hyatt over here, the rocket ship. You got Robinson running all over the frickin' place in the slot. You got, say, a Dunze over here, and then let's not forget about Slayton as well, too. Now you got yourself a nice young group of receivers. That actually, Slayton would be the old fart in the group, right? It would be his 6th season, right? So. And here are the defensive linemen taken in the top 6 since 2018. Bradley Chubb, Nick Bosa, Quinnen Williams, Cleveland Farrell. Oh, my God. Was it pick 3, I think it was? The Raiders took him. Oh, my God. Chase Young, Trevon Walker, Aiden Hutchinson, Kayvon Thibodeau, Will Anderson, Bosa, and Williams are impact players. Young started out as one, but hasn't lived up to his promise since his injury. Now, Chubb was one last season after not doing a lot in his first few years. Hutchinson looks like one, and so does Anderson. But time will tell. Thibodeau needs more consistency to be one. Well, I love me some Kayvon. Kayvon can be on my team anytime. They got looking for impact players in the 2024 NFL Draft. As the discussion above indicates, there are no guarantees, even when you have a high draft pick. Now, on Big Blue Kickoff Live, Paul Dottino, he does a lot of, he loves writing down numbers and stuff. Like he goes back, he looks at all the the passes thrown the year before, and he'll chart everything. And I'm never going to do that. I ain't never going to spend my time doing that. That is what it is. But he does it, and he charts all the drop passes each guy had, and he does all that stuff. You know what I mean? But one thing he did, he went back. I think it was I think it was from like 2001 to 2020. Basically, those 20 drafts right there. What he did was he took all the top players in the top from picks 1 through 10, I think it was, 11 to 20, I think it was, and 21 to 30. I don't think he did 31 and 32. But basically what he did was he took the top from picks 1 to 10 over those past 20. See the 20, he either did from 2000 to 2020 or 2001 to 2020. It was somewhere around there. But basically he took all the picks in the top 10, right? And he figured out in those like 20 drafts, right? He had a 55% chance of becoming I think it was a Pro Bowler, not an All-Pro. I think a Pro Bowl. Okay. 55% chance. So basically 1 out of 2 chance of becoming a Pro Bowler. 50-50 chance. So you drafting somebody number 2, number 3, doesn't mean they're going to be Pro Bowl. You got a 50-50 chance. Flip a coin. Right or wrong, right? From picks 11 to 20, what Paul DiCino found out is you got basically it's Sammy Hagar. I can't drive 55, right? It's 55, 44, 33. From picks 1 to 10, you got a 55% chance of the player in the top 10 becoming an All-Pro. 55%. As I said, this is not a Hall of Famer. This is not a Pro Bowler. This is not an All-Pro. This is not Hall of Fame. This is not somebody who wins awards or nothing like that. It's basically just somebody who becomes a Pro Bowler. Picks 11 to 20, you got a 44% chance of becoming a Pro Bowler. From picks 21 to 30, it's 33% chance. You got a 1 in 3 chance. So if you take somebody at 21, you think he might be the top tackle or whatever off the board, top cornerback off the board. At 21, you think, oh, we got something here. You got a 1 in 3 chance of that guy becoming a Pro Bowler. So chances aren't, they're not super stupendous. Just because you got a first round pick does not mean, right? Does not mean that you got a stone cold lock of a star, right? Most likely, Joe Schoen will go into this draft the same way he did in 2022 with a group of 6 players, one of whom is guaranteed to be there at number 6, that he and his coaches are most high on. He'll choose whoever's left, barring a trade up or a trade down. Like I'm saying, like what happened with Kayvon Thibodeau. You know what I mean? Or with maybe I guess they did it with Thibodeau and Neal. You know what I mean? They took 7 guys, and they said, okay, if 2 of these 7 guys are here, we'll be over the moon, right? And I guess quite possibly, Neal and Kayvon were 2 of those guys, right? So it'd be the same thing with pick 6, unless they move up or move back or whatever. But it's like we narrow it down to the top 6 guys. So if one of these 6 guys is there, one of these 6 guys is guaranteed to be there, obviously, right? Because one team can't take 2 players, right? So let's assume for this exercise that Schoen does not make a draft trade and that he shores up the offensive line enough in free agency not to see it as a first-order need entering the draft. Either those could be false. I just want to see what happens when one attempts to find impact players in this draft. We'll just look at rounds 1 and 2 for simplicity. There's a long article here. Mock draft simulators all have their own biases, different big boards, degrees of randomness, assumptions about potential values, etc. By looking at multiple simulators, we can capture some of the unpredictability of the draft. I used 3 different simulators from the NFL mock draft database, Pro Football Focus, and Pro Football Network. PFF allows you to vary input factors, so I set positional value and team needs fairly high and randomness at an intermediate level. So basically what he did like they did like mock drafts here. So the NFL mock draft database they took, wound up somehow Drake May came to the Giants at number 6. Xavier Worthy, the guy that ran a 2-second 40-yard dash, he was there at number 39 for the Giants. And Chris Jenkins, a defensive lineman, was from Michigan, was there. I guess then he did another one. NFL mock draft. They got Drake May, Devondre Sweat, defensive lineman from Texas, and Jalen Polk, wide receiver from Washington. Well, Polk's pretty good too. Then he did another one from the NFL mock draft. I have no idea. Caleb Williams, the Giants went to take Caleb Williams at number 6. Devondre Sweat and Jalen Polk. Okay. Then he did Pro Football Focus. He got 3 mock drafts? 3 mock drafts. And Malik Neighbors, Bo Nix, not bad. I would rather take Bo Nix only because over like a Penix, only because Penix gets injured so much. But he took Malik Neighbors, Bo Nix, and Darius Robinson, an edge from Missouri. That's not bad. Then the next one he has Roma Dunzier, Bo Nix, and Jonah Ellis, an edge from Utah. Okay. So basically, it's and then the next draft from Pro Football Focus is a Dunzier, J.J. McCarthy, and then Chop Robinson, an edge from Penn State. So basically, Pro Football Focus has the Giants basically taking a wide receiver, a quarterback, and an edge rusher. All right, then we got Pro Football Network. They got the Giants, let's see here, taking Malik Neighbors, Michael Penix, who's a good quarterback, he just injuries, and Leonard Taylor, a defensive tackle from Miami. Well, we need somebody to put next to Sexy Dexy. So then we got the next is Malik Neighbors. Actually, in Pro Football Network, Malik Neighbors is our pick number 6 on all 3 of them. So we got Malik Neighbors, Bo Nix, and Chris Braswell, an edge from Alabama. Okay, then we got Malik Neighbors, Bo Nix, and Trevonde Sweat, defensive tackle from Texas. So I'm fine with that too. I mean, you got yourself your dog of a wide receiver. If you can get yourself an edge or somebody to play next to Sexy Dexy, a good 3rd-round selection, fine with that. And then I said, if you want to take in, a quarterback in the 2nd round, fine with that. Fine with that. Let's see here. So, I mean, with all these mock drafts, you got in the 1st round, you get Caleb Williams, you got Drake May, Jaden Daniels, J.J. McCarthy, Bo Nix, Michael Penix, or like the top quarterbacks. Then you got Neighbors, Adunzier, Xavier Worthy, or Jalen Polk. Those were some of the guys that were drafted. I mean, there was no Marvin Harrison Jr. He didn't make it to the Giants at number 6, and I understand. And then you got Chris Jenkins, Trevondre Sweat, Darius Robinson, Jonah Ellis, or Chop Robinson. Guys drafted, the Giants would draft like maybe in the 3rd round or so. And there's some good picks. I mean, because without question, the Giants, we need an edge, right? And we need, we can usually use a young stud next to Sexy, without question. I said we got DJ Davidson, it could be maybe rotation. Jordan Riley doesn't look like any one of those guys quite possibly going to be like superstars, right? You know what I mean? But there's some depth. We drafted them. Maybe with Patterson, maybe he can get those guys to play a little bit better as the years go by. Right? But there'd be just some good, healthy depth for the Giants. If somebody gets hurt or somebody needs a blow or something like that, you get them in there, get them some snaps in there each game, right? But we could use somebody. I mean, like we have like remember we had Dalvin Tomlinson. You weren't going to get much out of the pass rush with him, but he was very good. I mean, the 1 year when we had like the Leonard Williams, I think it was Dalvin Tomlinson and Sexy Dex, he had the 3 guys in the middle. That was nice. That was a nice threesome in the middle there. I think we did very good against the run there. But Dalvin was the 2nd round pick. The Giants are in the past. If you go back to like Cornelius Griffin all the way back, it's in like 2000. The Giants have taken a lot of defensive tackles in the second round who really panned out very well for the Giants. But I don't see all of the holes that the Giants have in the roster and the depth we need and all that stuff. I don't see the Giants taking a defensive lineman with one of their first 2 picks. I said they're going to take a defense on it would be maybe their second, But I mean, I said the Giants. I said that if it's their second round pick, the Giants have done very well. If you go back to 2000 and look at all the defensive tackles, the Giants missed on like one or so, but for the most part, the Giants have done very good with the defensive tackles they've taken in the second round. And, that would be fantastic. And a nice young stud with Sexy Dexy. That really, really be good. And then I said, you got Kayvon. Maybe we can get another edge rusher in free agency. So you get Kayvon and maybe an edge rusher. And then you draft somebody to go next to Sexy Dexy or vice versa. Maybe you go out and get a defensive tackle in free agency to go up next to Sexy. And then I said, maybe in the draft, you take an edge rusher in the second round, and maybe your second round pick, second round pick, good edge rusher, and go up against with Kayvon. And then you got Azeez maybe to be some depth in there. Right? That wouldn't be bad at all. Wouldn't be bad at all because you also got to figure, too, this might be Aziz's last season with the Giants as well, too. So, all right. And finally, what do we got here? I know there was something else here. Now, from Rich Eisen. Now, I said he had a little clip today. It was about like 10 minutes long, and he was talking about different things. He was talking about like what the Patriots might do. Should the Patriots stand pat or maybe move back, collect some picks, right? And help build the team. Should they take a quarterback? But why would you want to take a quarterback, if you don't have a team? You know what I mean? So they were talking about that, but then he started going into, talking about like, maybe the Patriots may be moving back. Who would they maybe move back with? And then Rich Eisen started talking about the Giants. What the Giants, number 6, they might move up. They might want a quarterback. And then he said something along. He has his things. He's listening from the draft rumors. He said, and this like little thing he was talking about. I think it's top 5 rumors. I think it was from the NFL Combine. He was talking about. He said the Giants are absolutely. This is just stuff he's heard. He says the Giants are absolutely done with Daniel Jones. They said they have buyer's remorse. Then once again in this article, you go down to the bottom, toward the bottom, and this is there was something. It was an article, same thing. But you saw Lawrence Time was talking about it's like smokescreen season. You know what I mean? So take everything with a little bit of grain of salt. So you get these reports coming out. I heard from 300 different people that the Giants are absolutely done with Daniel Jones. Well, take a little grain of salt, though. All right? Don't believe everything you hear. But this is from Bleacher Report. It was almost 1 year ago that the Giants signed quarterback Daniel Jones to his 4-year contract extension, but it sounds like the team is already trying to move on from him. Rich Eisen reported on Monday's episode of the Rich Eisen Show at the 5-minute mark in the video, that one of the rumors he heard at the NFL scouting combine last week was that the Giants were absolutely done with Daniel Jones. Eisen went on to add that the team regrets giving him a $160 million deal last offseason. Might have had to play him this season, but that ain't it. And they feel like that ain't it. The words I heard at the combine multiple times, 2 words were buyer's remorse. They were sorry that they paid him, Eisen said. But they have to say what they have said publicly. Now I may be way off, and this may be patently unfair. Jones played 6 games during the 2023 season before suffering a torn ACL in the right knee. When healthy, he threw for 909 yards, 2 touchdowns, and 6 interceptions while leading his team to a 1-5 record. Giants selected Jones with the 6th pick. Yeah, we know all that stuff. Jones has shown flashes of being a reliable starter, but he struggled to find consistency throughout his career. It would be understandable if the Giants choose to reset the quarterback position by drafting their signal caller of the future. You don't know. I mean, once again, beware of the smoke screens and all that stuff and everything. The Giants are definitely, everybody's talking about the Giants moving up to get a quarterback. Yes, once again, take it all with a grain of salt, but you do know a couple of things you do know, right? Is that they did give him the contract, but they had to get where they can get out after 2 seasons. There'll be some dead cap money there, but once again, the cap's going to go up next season. The Giants have a lot of cap money, a decent amount of cap space next season, and if they get rid of Daniel Jones, they're only going to add another 20-something million in cap money that they'll have. Okay, so they signed him to a 4-year deal, but they can get out after 2. Okay. Other than also, it's kind of like, who else were they going to sign? Right? And, you also look at it too, is that, if Dable's, if they're not really improving this season, his seat's going to get a little warm. Now, does he want to go down with the Titanic with Daniel Jones, or does he want to go down with the Titanic with his own guy? Right? Now, if he goes out and gets his own guy, it's going to buy him a little bit of time. They'll probably buy him until at least next season. So, so if things aren't going well and they pull Daniel Jones and they put his own guy in there, and you can just say, well, we were struggling toward the last half of the season because we got the rookie quarterback in there. Next season, he should be more familiar with the system, right? We should start, we'll get some more players in there, right? And we should start doing better. That'll buy him a little extra time. If he just keeps with Daniel Jones and the Titanic starts going down, his seat's going to get really warm this season. Once again, Daniel Jones came with Kmart. Shane and Dable came here, and there's your quarterback, whether you like it or not, right? If you don't like it, you got to get yourself a new one, which you certainly can do, right? But, if they don't have, total conviction in them, they better go out and get themselves another quarterback. And if they wait too long, it's going to be too late. So, but if they do get themselves a quarterback this season, they think that maybe they can mold and sit behind Daniel Jones for a year or whatever. That might be something they wind up doing. But once again, it's we got actually, what do we got? Today's it's almost the 5th, and the draft's the 27th. So we got about 7 weeks in the draft. Whew, man, guys are gonna be here before you know it. Absolutely freaking amazing how time flies by. But then again, also about this time next week, right? We're gonna have the legal tampering. 1 week, legal tampering. So then in about 25 minutes, I think this is the final day you can slap a tag on somebody. So, but I said, but this time next week will be in the legal tampering time. It's like Christmas, guys. It's absolutely like Christmas. All right, guys. It's been 1 hour and 2 minutes. Whoever spent any time listening to me live, thank you. Or if anybody's going to spend any time watching a replay, this once again, thank you so much from the bottom of my heart. It means the world to me. And as always, you guys stay safe out there and go Giants. Woo!